When a dog on the street needs help, there's no hotline for him or her to call. There's no 911 dispatcher that can send out a veterinarian, no therapist to consult for pooches who have fallen on rough times. Luckily, there are groups that can serve as the next best thing. When Eldad Hagar, founder of the Los Angeles-based nonprofit Hope for Paws, received a call about a wounded dog, he rushed to the scene. Once there, he discovered a wounded pit bull in a side alley and in desperate need of help. Gravely injured and living on the streets, time was running out for the dog. Would Eldad be able to save her, or was it too late? Things can seem hopeless for an abandoned dog who's been injured. With no dedicated emergency assistance hotline, it's up to the animal to fend for themselves and try to heal before they encounter any danger. Luckily, there's hope. Eldad Hagar, far left, is the founder of Hope for Paws, a nonprofit dedicated to giving dogs second chances. One day, Eldad and his team received a phone call about an injured dog. The caller's friends had spotted the dog on the side of the road and followed her for 2 hours until she collapsed in a dark alley. Eldad himself raced to the scene. What Eldad saw was heartbreaking. A pit bull had nestled herself in the bushes, alone and afraid. In the dark, with her head tilted down low, it was difficult for Eldad to see just how bad she'd been wounded. Still, he knew he would have to pull out all the stops to rescue this frightened pooch. First, Eldad pulled out his lucky leash. Whenever an animal needs rescuing, Eldad always has his red, sunflower-patterned leash on hand. He carefully draped it over the pit bull without issue. She appeared to be used to submitting because she didn't put up any fight at all. With the leash around her neck, Eldad moved on to the next step of the rescue, and the one that could have put him in the most danger. Slowly, he rested a hand on the dog's head and offered a few strokes behind her ear. Thankfully, the dog, who Hope for Paws went on to name Cadence, didn't resist. She accepted Eldad's touch as a welcome relief. Without much coaxing, Eldad managed to walk Cadence away from her little hovel in the alleyway. Whether she was comfortable with him or just used to doing what she was told was unclear. Either way, even under Eldad's protection, she had a long road ahead of her. Eldad quickly assessed Cadence's injuries before leading her to his car. In the light, it was easier to see all of the cuts and open wounds on her face. He suspected that Cadence's previous owner used her as a bait dog, kind of like a punching bag for illegal fighting dogs to practice on. Despite her condition, Cadence sure didn't have a broken spirit. When Eldad brought Cadence to his SUV, she jumped right in the front seat without hesitation. Maybe she knew she was finally safe, or perhaps riding in cars was just one of the only joys from her past. Regardless, she was ready to hit the road. Back at the Hope for Paws facilities, Cadence was instantly showered with love and affection. Every night, a staffer named Jacqueline Ancona, pictured, would come in and treat Cadence with warmth and care. Finally, the dog was getting the attention she deserved after a life of misery. More important than love and affection, however, was medical attention. Cadence was in rough shape, and her face was covered in fresh blood. Her eyes had been severely damaged from the sharp nails and teeth of the other dogs, and her snout was shredded to bits. Thankfully, Hope for Paws had medical experts on hand to tend to her. One such medical professional, Dr. Christian Farrer, performed emergency eye surgery on Cadence to save her vision. It took an immense amount of precision and a handful of stitches, but after surgery and 2 weeks recovery, Cadence's sight was nearly as good as new. Cadence may have experienced some serious horrors in the early part of her life, but now, thanks to the kindness of one man, she's able to live happy and free.